Yeah, man. I figured we would start with this Drake and Party Next Door album that came out. I believe it's called Some Sexy Songs for You.
Yeah.
Um, Incredible timing to say the least. um, Fresh
Days
off of
days after the Super Bowl halftime show.
yeah, days after the Super Bowl halftime show, trying to step on basically the boost that Kendrick Lamar would get from his songs.
It
Um,
worked for a day.
and it worked for a day, you know, and then
It worked
promptly
for a day.
it did not work anymore. Um,
Yeah.
I gotta say it like this: I'm not a fan of the Drake singing, and I've never listened to Party Next Door. He's always just been like an OVO myth character that's always been around. So like, I know nothing about him except he used to mess with Kaylani back in the day. Like that's about it. And Kyrie Irving was involved with something, and it was nasty. Whatever the fuck was happening, I don't really know too much about it. The less I say, the better.
Yeah.
But
I'm not even gonna try to strain the background on that, like, because the, there is a public story that like Kyrie and Kalani have held up to, but the internet do not believe them. So whatever. I'm not getting into it. It's over. It's over with. Y'all decide on what y'all want to believe. I don't. I never cared enough to care one way or the other. But there are people that hate Kaylani, and because of that, and like there are other reasons of late to not dislike to dislike Kaylani. Those are far more pressing than this. But whatever. Uh, getting to the "Sexy Songs for You" album. Party Next Door, as you mentioned, mythical AEW. Oh, Rich froze this time.
oh, I froze.
Oh, okay, you're on froze. Okay, either you froze, or you stood
Oh no,
still.
no, I
Like,
was staying still. I was listening because
okay,
I had
okay.
something I wanted to say. I
So,
I
man,
have a perfect comp for what I thought of this album, but go ahead.
yeah, okay. I would say like you mentioned the OVO mythical status that he has, and like either he like in my mind he's kind of like I don't think there's a direct parallels, but like there's kind of like he's like the Kid Cudi. He's like their
Okay.
Kid Cudi.
Oh,
Like
I
like
thought you were
when
about to
when
steal
they're
my
making
joke. Hold on.
oh that's why okay.
No.
Like I don't know what it was, but it's like okay, there's this guy around here and he's making all these um there's this guy out here and he is helping this other top star make music and he's getting a lot of credit and we don't know what he's doing, what he's not. But all I do know is that whenever I do hear his vocals on tracks, he makes the tracks worse. So like nothing was the same. It's apparently like that's Party's joint, right? The same way like 808s in Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is like Kid Cudi is like, well, then why does he make like all but like one song of like Kid Cudi is like, well, why does he make all but one song I've ever heard that he's involved with work or better? He's only made one song better that I ever heard that he was on. Whatever. With Party is like, okay, if that's his pen, that's what he's referencing, whatever else, cool, I get it. Um, and then I hear this album and it's on Valentine's Day, and I'm like, this is not what I was expecting, and because I just it just felt really low energy to me, and I thought that like the last half or last third of the album, it just felt like it just like fell off the tracks. And there were certain songs, even the songs that I thought were going to work as far as commercially, I was really loving. And there's really only one. And there's one thing I was really surprised about is like so much of this is Drake. It's not like the collaboration that you thought it would be. The way people have claimed they
James,
wanted it to be so badly.
you know
So go
what
ahead, Rich.
you know what this album is?
What?
This is the in quotations R&B version of the Jay-Z and Jay Electronica album. Like
Oh, I forgot about that thing. Mm.
like where
Uh,
this shit is actually just a Jay-Z album, but like he
right.
was hopping on with this artist everybody wanted this album from for years and years, and but it's actually Jay, like, but it's
Uh huh.
weird. Oh, I heard some song on there today. I was playing a couple of the songs before the show. In my
Okay.
original listen, I don't think I got past track 4. I was like, all right, man, this
Okay.
clearly ain't for me. I'm not the
Right.
audience. I'ma just back
Right.
off of it, right?
Same. Same.
I listened to the "Give Me a Hug" song. I'm like, all right,
Oh, I,
whatever.
I told you. Do you listen to that voice message I sent to you in the group with Kirby?
I think I heard it.
Okay, so like sorry. So I'm on a last minute run before the grocery store closes, before Publix closes to get some ice cream, and I was like, you know what? Let's on that. Give me a hug. I would like to hear Drake call Joe Budden a dick sucker. So I just like, let's throw that on. Just throw it on there, and then. Like, cause I think I listened to it one time without really paying much attention to it or whatever. So then at the end of it, it's basically like 3 songs. He's rapping over like a sample of a choir, and then the beat, the main part of it that people like, and then it gets to the part where he's singing over, I forgot whose song that is, but I Miss You. And like before he gets to that part, it's like basically like he's singing about like the girls that he wants to get a hug from and they're strippers. And at the end of it, like one of the women's name is Luxury. It's like, so we're back to him like
We have factory
going out
reset this nigga.
over strippers. I was like, so we're back in 2008.
We have factory reset this man, James.
I was like, man, and then like the funniest shit because I wasn't in the when I first heard it, I was in the album going through all the songs, and then like when I just went on that one little run, I played just that song. So my phone completely at the end of it immediately played Kendrick Lamar TV off, and I fucking out. I was like, yeah, it's not enough. It's just not enough,
bro.
It's like, okay, Richard, you have to say.
I heard a couple of these songs. I was like, all right, man. I played that song, and I was like, all right, he's taking shots at people, but then at the same time, he's talking about fucking rap beef. I'm like, all right, it ain't
trying to
get
the party lit, yeah.
And then I heard some song, bro. I don't even know what the fuck the name was. It was like some up tempo kind of song with like some claps in it, and it sounded like some 1980s LA freestyle music and shit. I was like, what is this? This is awful, bro. Like I was like, huh?
It's a lot of stuff thrown on there that like I don't necessarily like. At least the sound, the beginning of it sounded like okay, this makes okay. These kind of go together. But then again, it's like there's also little spots where it's like these are heat checks, like the meet your padre or whatever else. Like that's a heat check. It's gonna work. People like look. It's Drake speaking Spanish. It's merengue Drake. Like he should have put Bad Bunny on there. And I heard I was like, you know what? People gonna clown it for this, but it's gonna sell, so whatever. And like I don't hate it, so whatever. Nokia is gonna work. It sounds like some disco.
I think that's the song I'm talking about. That's the song I'm talking about.
It sounds like some shit you could play at a skating rink.
I was waiting for Dr. Dre to appear with the surgeon mask on for surgery and shit. I'm like, what is this bullshit? Like I
can imagine a nigga with a jerry curl with their hands in the air,
out here,
just doing this, the dance is just smiling like, yeah, this is shit. Like, remember Charlie Murphy?
Hitting the robot on this shit. Like, nah, man. Like, get that shit out of here.
Yeah, like some of these songs is like, like parts of it go together, other parts don't, and those are parts that stand out. But like, at least those are the ones that are like, okay, those are singles. But like, the thing is for me is like, the ones that I think are gonna be singles, they don't sound none like the album. So you go, if these are the things that bring to the album, I'm gonna play the album and be like, what is this?
So what?
Right? Like,
can you go into the song you were telling me about that was just like,
oh, Lasers?
Yeah.
Lasers? Oh, Lasers is just like, it's more just Drake, like, understand you're vulnerable. You sound pathetic. Like obviously, Drake is the king of dirty macking, right? And people have varying degrees of
this is why
forgiveness for Drake dirty macking, because in reality they be dirty macking too. So look, this is different. This is a dirty macking.
This is why Kendrick Lamar said this man is falls short when it comes to character. This is
yeah. And we know we've heard about him playing dirty with a lot of this stuff and whatever. But for me, there's a difference between you playing foul and you being pathetic. And there are certain songs where he does stuff like this. So I'm just like, bro, how are you not? What's wrong with you? And this one was like, the hook is basically, I'm gonna have to pull up the lyrics to the damn thing. I'm sorry.
Make sure you click back onto the screen too, because you froze.
Okay, I'll be sure to do that.
Yep. But I heard this song in the pre-show, as I was saying, when I was in disbelief at what I was hearing. I was like, somebody went.
Oh, you didn't believe me when I told you about it the first time?
I believed you, but like I was like, just hearing it is a different kind of
Okay.
feeling, because I'm like, yo, he hopped in the vocal booth and was like,
yep,
this how we gonna do this.
So, all right, let me. All right.
And I thought it was gonna be Drake.
Now,
yeah,
I'm froze.
You're
still
moving.
frozen?
You moving? Yep.
I'm moving. Okay. So Drake says,
"You are no longer moving."
Damn it! All right. Hold on.
You gotta pull it up on the phone, or put it in another browser. But
yeah. Well, yeah. All right. So here we go. This man says, I can't believe I'm saying that. Staring at your tattoo while I'm fuck you from the back. It doesn't say my name, girl, but here's where we at. Baby, say my name like Beyonce. Say my name, baby, say my name. In the bridge. Now, because the beginning of it, you can shoot Drake some bail because it's like, oh, well, Party saying the first hook, he's saying the second hook, and then the last hook, they both sing it. But the thing is, we know Drake, and we've heard Drake say stuff like this before. So it's like, all right, he brings it further because he's on the bridge and he says, the fact you still got it is insane. This nigga done put you through so much pain. Baby, say my name like Beyonce. Baby, say my name. Session number 1 is gonna hurt a little bit. Session number 2 might hurt you a little bit. Might make you learn a little bit. Session number 3, I know you'll be used to that shit. At least we're starting fresh in my brain. He is saying he before was like, okay, they might have been like, hey, I just met you. It's kind of strange, or whatever else. No. He's saying this is a woman that he is involved with that he just can't get over. The part where he hit it from the back, and on the back of her back, there's a tattoo of someone else's name. So now he is going to pay to get it removed. And he's convincing her to get it removed. Look, man, it used to be one thing when it was like, hey, man, why are you talking about old girl from the Hooters on Peachtree? Why are you telling us that you got set up and got robbed because you were infatuated with some woman on Resistance on the first couple albums, right? Tell us these kind of things. Like, all right, you get caught lacking. It is what it is. Like, bro, you consistently do this. You were 38.
You have a choice. He chose to conduct himself like this.
Yeah, man.
Bro, every when I hear a song like this, it makes me thankful that I found a woman many years ago and never had to live that kind of suckerific life that this man has ended up with. I don't care if the song is make-believe or not at this point.
It's even worse if it's make-believe because it's like, bro,
why would you imagine this?
In make-believe, you come out like such a sucker.
Like, you're supposed to make yourself cooler. Like if it's not real, like give yourself some aura. Like, this is like, why does anyone like this? I might have to call my niece and have her explain. Hey, have you heard Lasers? What do you think of it? Please tell me the honorable thing in this song. Right. That he's gonna pay the money? Is that the honorable thing?
And the name of the song is Lasers, Rich.
They're not trying to dress it up. This is not Nas rapping backwards out here on a song, James. This is not I Gave You Power. This is not him rapping like he's a gun. Like, no. This nigga is saying, I will pay to get this tattoo removed off of you that I've been looking at for years. I'm tired of looking at it.
Yeah.
This is insane. Like, who knew that look, I assume there are people out there that might have heard this and been like, I know what he mean, bro. I know what he mean, bro. But
It's not relatable.
I'm not
Ain't
putting
nobody
that
else
out.
got
I'm not
hundreds of
putting that
M's
on
to
the
go pay to
track.
get it removed.
I'm not putting that on no track. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm not putting it. I'm not playing this. I'm not pulling the team into the studio. Like, let's say it's red carpet, James. I'm not making the song, right? I'm like, yeah, James, come through at 7:00. I want to play you something. Alex, come through. Bring Diaz, bring Coney and Curb. I want to get everybody's, what they think about this. If I hit play,
So you, hold on, wait, before you move on for your point. So if you say pull up at 7, that means me and Alex didn't know there at 8, right?
yeah, yep, y'all
Okay.
pull it up. And I've been talking about the song to them the whole time. Like, yo, I think, this is really creative. I think people gonna like it. And then I hit play and Lasers comes out that motherfucker. There's no way it makes it out the room. No way.
No, it don't. It don't. And look, Drake is obviously he's making music for people younger than us, but we're in a the thing that's not relatable. I remember when he used to talk about Jay-Z and talking about his art on the wall not being relatable, and I'm like, who's a motherfucker in this age that's young that has the money to go get laser tattoo removal? So this ain't relatable either, Drake. This is rich people problems, brother.
This man said he wants to see it bare. He wants to see the skin in its original form, James. This man wants it the way it came out the package. He does not want it poisoned by the ink. This is sad.
It's just weird.
This is shameful. This is the
I
man.
remember
Look,
just hearing,
this is the man that they chose to lead rap for 15 years, James. This is him. This is what they allowed. This is what they championed.
And you can't say this is a one-off example. I just named 2 off top, and I'm not exactly the person that can go through with a fine-tooth comb Drake's whole catalog. I've heard enough to be like, I was off this train back in 2010 or 2011 when this shit happened. Like when I heard Take Care, I was like, nah, man, not for me. Sorry, just not for me. I can't. That's not relatable to me. Like if any of my friends told me this stuff to me, I'd be like, hey, man, we got to give you some help because like I got to get you. Not because you're pathetic, but like it feels like your dignity is at an all-time low. We gotta like rebuild you from brick one. The foundation's cracked. You are a broken man. So we gotta get you back up on your feet. Like I gotta help you some way, and that's the way. That like nah, but this is like he's taking this, and he's richer than ever. It's crazy.
This is sick. This is really sick, man. And the music that I heard, the brief portions of it, very slow, sleepy, non-musical. Yep. Everything sounded like dark instruments. Like I'm a person that sees instruments with colors, and all I saw was just darkness.
Murky.
Like on this
murkiness.
Like dark red and dark, and gray and shit like that. Like, nah, man. Like, like.
Yeah, a lot of it is like lacking, percussion. Yeah, I just I don't know how this is gonna do like commercially for him or whatever else. Maybe this is like he did this to help get him out of his deal because he still has a whole UMG. But this again is not even necessarily a UMG thing. Isn't it more of a party? Isn't it out on Party's behalf?
I think so, like Sony and something like that. It's all tied up.
Yeah.
But this is poor timing, of course. I don't think we never seen nobody like if he thinks this was the chess move, to come back from last year and everything. It's like Pete Dunne said, it's not the way. I still would have been in favor of him just taking the year off. I heard actually a great idea. I think it may have been from Van Lathan. Try to get the Super Bowl next year. Completely disappear, go off the map, and try to get the Super Bowl next year. And then try to just do the best performance you can. I think that would have been like the only thing to say. That's the best idea I've heard.
I think that Kendrick Lamar has removed the idea that Drake can get to halftime next year. I think that I think Taylor Swift's getting it next year.
Yikes.
Not saying that she doesn't deserve it, because obviously she does, but you're on point. Like I think the next person that gets a Super Bowl halftime show will be a pop star, and Drake is a pop star, but I mean like a pop star is not based in rap. So I kind of think that's what we are next year. I think Drake has kind of So I think Kendrick's kind of like fucked this up for a while for rappers. Even ones that had aspired for it, they even got the catalog for it. I think we're kind of done with that for a while. So, yeah, I think so. Drake is gonna get a Super Bowl halftime show eventually, and and he'll get that. But there's a lot of things where it's like I don't know. When you're at his level, you just took this another big rap loss like this. He doesn't have the necessarily Midas touch he used to. He's suing his record label. I'm sorry, his distributor. Is like, what does he want when it comes to as a musical artist right now? Like, what does he want to do? Is it just like a bucket list thing or whatever? Because like another part about this party thing is like, as I mentioned, the shit that he did on those two did together for Nothing Was the Same is like, this was like something that should have came out like before for all the dogs. This should have come before the 21 Savage collab album. This should have came out like before the pandemic. We are now, we're now in 2025. And it's here now. It's like,
who wants to listen to Drake sing for this long?
But man, it's gonna sell well, so obviously some people do, it's not necessarily me but the other thing about it's like, this ain't the best. This is like the worst of the Drake singing stuff, in my opinion, that I've heard. Right? Like, there's not a one dance on that record. There's not a please stay home or we're coming home. There's nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no take care. Say again?
But there is a lasers on that bitch.
That is definitely a lasers. So yeah, that's the kind of thing that's true for me is like, if you want to make your other genre album, like ain't supposed to be fire? Ain't supposed to be like the best of you doing this kind of thing?
I think it's the dirty secret with Drake. It's like, everything else he does besides rap, he's not actually like rooted in. So he's not only does it feel like he's an interloper in rap sometimes, he's actually an interloper in everything else he does. Like, so it doesn't come off as like the best of that thing either.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you. But even while he was dabbling in all these other genres of music that he's not actually rooted in, the music was better. It's catchier. It was more fun. Like, he made a record and then Party Defender is like, this is for the bitches. And I was like, the bitches ain't dancing to this.
Look, I saw a great tweet. It was like, these niggas out here talking about this album is for the hoes. And the hoes are saying this is not for them.
That's what I'm getting at. Right, Drake is for people that shake ass and smoke hookah and throw ass. Is like, you can't throw ass to this. Fuck, there's no drums to throw ass to this on some of these records.
Don't you need percussion? Don't you need some tension rhythm in the music, like at all?
Right.
No. Okay.
He said it's R&B album. Do you know what rhythm is? You know the R and rhythm and blues stands for, motherfucker. R&B stands for. What are you talking about? Yeah, man, but it's just
this
I'll
give it
a couple more. Hey. I'll give it a couple more spins or whatever else. There's nothing out that I've heard that I was like, turn it off, immediately turn off, or whatever. And there are some songs I like, but it don't feel like a cohesive, well thought out album. It feels like a collection of shit thrown together.
This is that R&B, James. Rhythm and bap, rhythm and bap.
Yeah. So like, I don't have a grade for it because I just, I don't, but I would just say I wouldn't recommend it. I don't have a grade. I don't have a star rating.